also an update on the decision that has issued by Western Bay District Council. At that point, the discussion would move into the next phase, which would be questions concerning whether to appeal, and if so, on what grounds. And that would be a discussion that would ideally take place in public excluded. None of that can occur, of course, without a quorum and a meeting being called, and obviously, while we're waiting to determine whether that is so, there's no point in going any further with the detail and substance of that discussion. However, what I would suggest procedurally is that if, after the 10-minute period, if it is deemed that there is not a quorum and there is no meeting, I am available, and if it feels sufficient, I'm very happy to give some form of informal briefing along the lines that I've described, but ultimately with that views is obviously a matter for you as a group to determine.
Thank you. I think you're talking about a possible small workshop after the official proceedings are over, and I'll ask the Chief Executive to help Councillor Rotorua take.
So, Councillors, a couple of comments. So firstly, the reason this is in before Council is that, strictly speaking, the Chief Executive's delegation would allow me to make a decision on this matter. What I'm doing is seeking your guidance as to how you wish me to respond to the Western Bay plan change notification of their decision. The decision itself that they have made, and in fact our submission, are both already in the public arena. So our submission is public, it's a public document, and the plan change decision that Western Bay has made is equally also in public. So the opportunity to hear from Lachlan the nature of our submission more in detail to provide you with greater depth and understanding prior to actually the next meeting is something that is entirely available to you and would entirely be in order, but would be obviously your choice as to whether you wish to hear that.
Thank you. And look, just before I do move on with the process of the meeting, can I just come back to Mr. Foster and the issue Councillor Sturt raised about costs of delay?
Of the three items, some of the costs of delay on the first two that I mentioned, which is in regards to the alcohol policy and commissioners. Additional costs and so on are not that substantial, but it does have an impact on council's reputation. Right, so people know that on this decisions were pending, and those decisions not being made means that elements in terms of keeping people informed and so on get some slippage, which then can potentially mean that they believe that the officers aren't getting back to them when we said we would get back to them because the meeting didn't occur when the meeting was supposed to occur. So there's a reputational impact in regards to that. On the contract one though, it's quite a bit more complicated because of course tendering has certain procedures, contracting has certain procedures. Some of the contracts that we enter into have the NZTA subsidies. The contract we were talking about was an NZTA subsidised item. Within that, NZTA have certain rules and schedules that sort of should be followed. In regards to, likewise, the contract bills, notification of the contractors and those sort of things have certain procedures. Tenders do only last for a certain period of time, so there are risks in terms of bids and quotes potentially lapsing. In regards to this one, there are risks, and it will have some costs to us in regards to it because of the notification period and so on. I'm now going to get very, very cramped. Not going to be catastrophic, but it is going to come at some cost to us.
Thank you. So, look, councillors, before I move on with the process, can I have an indication of whether there are any other matters you wish to raise before I call this meeting to a close and adjourn, and also an indication of those who wish to stay later? Councillor typical, the lumber cube matter will be raised in a workshop later on if we so decide that our time is valuable in going down that track.
We're just trying to let people a little more open know the council what the plan is, because the date is the 31st of May, which is the next election.
So we won't be going into confidential for the workshop. Anyone's free to remain that wish to do so, but I do need to, we're well over the 10-minute mark, so I do need to call the formal part of this normal meeting to a close. So, moving on, pursuant to Standing Order 3.5.1, the meeting lapses because a quorum hasn't attended within the 10 minutes. So the business is officially suspended. The meeting is hereby adjourned till Tuesday the 31st of May 2016 at 9:30 a.m. In this council chamber. Also pursuant to Standing Order 3.5.3, the minutes are to record the failure of a quorum here today and to list the members in attendance. That is Councillor Dave Donaldson, Deputy Mayor and Chairperson, Councillor Gould, Councillor Hunt, Councillor Brokawa Tate, Councillor Sturt and Councillor Tapsell. The minutes are also to record why the meeting lapsed, which is failure of a quorum. So I now declare the meeting adjourned and move on with the workshop.